Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, and welcome back to Harvest December. No Ryokens, Naomi said once we arrived in a large traditional house. The nameplate said Ichimonji. Apparently she was trying to say that there was no Ryokens or hotels on the island where we were supposed to that since there were no Ryokens or hotels on the island, we were supposed to stay at her house as guests. We all came to that conclusion quite naturally. Explanation? I answered on behalf of everybody. Unnecessary. Good. Naomi looked a bit disappointed that we had adapted to her so easily. Among the Shiki families, only Naomi-chan or Nanaki's place are large enough to house all of you. It's much better than sleeping crammed into a shrine. What do you mean by the Shiki family? It was a simple question that everybody wanted to ask. Sine cracked her head, and Mayuri looked at Tomomi questioningly. Ichimonji. Oh no. No. My eyes. Nonononononono. Who the crap is that? You realize that the names all have numbers in them. Oh, Ichi is 1, I know that much. Roku is 6, me is 3. Alright. Why is that, anyway? You mean Dr. Manaka is also the 4th house? Oh! So they're like named 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the island. I get it now. The Shidos, yes. Manaka-san was supposed to take over the family, but she left the island. Mai-san doesn't seem interested in taking over, though. Lazy. Naomi closed her eyes with a frown, as if to say she couldn't fathom why anybody would do that. Her personality was a mixture of who she was born as and what the first house of Ichimonji required her to be. Mizakura and Goshima aren't here, but Nanaki said she'd come by tomorrow. Ichimonji, Ninomiya, Mizakura, Shiro, and Goshima. There's no way I'm keeping those straight, I'm just telling you right now. I might remember Ichimonji, because I've seen that name a bunch of times now, but there's no way I'm remembering the other 4. Anyway, those were the families that had strong ties to the island rituals, or so Dad said. I had many questions to ask, but first I wanted to put down the heavy luggage we were carrying. I took a few mental notes of what I wanted to know, and decided I'd ask Tomomi later. Empty. The inside of the Ichimonji house was just as big as it looked from the outside. It seemed Naomi meant we were all servants and that all servants and workers were on leave. I nodded to show what I had understood. The strange thing about traditional Japanese architecture was that past a certain point in size, it would diminish the presence of the people that lived in it. You would get the faint idea that somebody did indeed live there, but just as Naomi had said, the house was entirely silent. But not for long. Hey! We could hear a faint muffle coming from one of the rooms in the back. We couldn't hear what the conversation was about, but it sounded like a quarrel. Once the quarreling ended, a girl burst out of the room. You! Excuse me? She bowed her head ungraciously and stomped away. Sine and the others made for her, but I was slow to react. The girl named Yu didn't look outraged, but instead irritated. For some reason, I was drawn to her because of that. Eh! She almost tripped as trying to walk into me. Yuki and Naomi tried to reach out and help her, but she marched off towards the exit before they could do anything. Ichimonji-san. Naomi, can I borrow the washroom? Yes. Can you tell me where it is? This was beginning to get difficult. I'll carry your stuff to the room. I said my thanks to Kohai and made my way according to Naomi's clipped directions. I turned right at the corner. There was a long corridor and several large rooms that looked identical to one another. The distinct scent of traditional home lingered in the air. It would be easy to get lost. Lost in a sense that you would forget where you are and where you're from. Something about the space distorted reality. Even for someone like myself who was used to Yuki's spacious home, it was hard to find my way around here. I gradually began to lose confidence in the directions Naomi had given me. It was so quiet. The corridors were long. My destination was so far. The unfamiliarity of my surroundings was beginning to weigh down on me. It was so quiet, I began to think about all sorts of theories. The structure of society. How much value would a single individual have amongst the mass? A single unit, a human's need to create and believed in a higher entity was inevitable in the way our society was structured because there would always be the need to be saved, thus creating a savior that would need to link one's belief that one could be tied to... Oh. Because I was lost in my thought, I hadn't noticed that I was trespassing. She was staring at me, peering out from behind her dark wavy hair. But she wasn't looking at me. She was looking straight through me, as if I wasn't there. I studied her, fascinated at how depressed she looked. This music sounds creepy for some reason. Like, it sounds like one of the ghost house musics from Pokemon. Anyway, she looked far from real. Her presence was thin. Her expressions played out on her face freely, the way people's did when they thought they were alone. Is this like the god of the land or something? Or is this just somebody who's a little off their rocker? She was angry. So angry it emanated from her, as if she couldn't contain it in her body even if she tried. Even though I knew she couldn't see me, I felt uncomfortable just being there. Her eyes darted left and right. They were filled with hatred. She was conscious but not alert. I knew this would happen. Well, what? This is hard to see. My 3DS is red and the text is red and my eyes. No, reading. Well, doesn't that suit you? Always doing things by halves. The screen is like an inch from my face and this can't be actually good for my eyes. But I can't read it otherwise. Her words spread out in the air and dissolved into the walls. She was my hope. Yeah, she met the criteria too. And look what happens, she comes crying to me say she can't do it, that little bitch. 2 different streams of speech coming from one mouth. What did I do wrong? Everything, of course. You knew it would have never worked out. That's why you chased her away without listening. It was the same voice, but distinctly different mannerisms. She was talking to herself. No, I denied out loud. That wasn't correct. She's having a conversation. You. She wavered, as if coming to focus, and that particular look that fascinated me vanished. She had a slight tan to her skin, like all the other island girls did. But even so, it was easy to tell she was blushing. Even the tip of her nose turned red. She was standing by the doorway. Through the open shoji doors, I could almost hear the smell of the tatami mats inside. I imagined that this was her room. Did you listen to everything? Shouldn't you ask if I saw anything strange? So you know. About the conversation? She bowed her head down as if she was ashamed. Is that what's bothering you? I felt like interrogating her. Her submissive behavior encouraged me. It doesn't really matter whether I heard you or not. Ellipses. She stiffened but kept silent. I didn't care if she was someone that liked having conversations with herself. It was it was her face that I was interested in. The raw burning emotion intrigued me. Again, I wished. I wished she would lift her head and show that face again. The fiery heat was so intense it was unreal. It excited me. I reached out towards her. I wanted to pull her face upwards and look into her eyes in case there was a trace of that emotion. Don't tell. Maybe it was because of the way she pleaded, as if she was about to cry. I felt my excitement die and my insides turned cold. Reality had caught up to me, and it was as merciless as ever. Please. She lifted her face. Please don't tell. She slowly walked towards me, dragging her bare feet. The hem of her black dress fluttered at her ankles. Her eyes shone from behind her jet black hair. Please. Please? She came closer and closer. The sudden change in her way was frightening. I won't tell, I promise. Really? My ears must have gone funny because her voice was now distorted. Under her drawl, I could hear her dragging footsteps coming closer. My senses prickled. Everything else melted away. Why are you running away from me? I feel the need to put like some kind of voice filter on this part of the commentary. Like, what was it?
Hey.
What game was I playing that had something like that? Oh no, it was, Anne in Bravely Second who talked like that. She was terrifying. She was a monster. She kinda looks like her too, with curlier hair. Please don't go. Her hands clamped down on my shoulders. They looked as big as Kohai's. Eek! You promise? Yes, I promise. Let's just calm down and have a rational conversation, or either please don't curse me. Don't worry, I won't hurt you. Her blood-red lips stretched out into a smile, and I could see rows of her white teeth lined up inside. Her fingers dug into my shoulders. No! Masaki! Yuki kicked the door down to the rescue. Who are you? The girl stared at the blade of Kubikiri Maru stuck up under her nose. I knew what it felt like to be on the receiving end of Yuki's naginata, nothing to be proud about, but boy did it feel safe to be on the other side. You, the girl muttered. I did a double take. Again, it was that expression on her face again. Magari. Sister. You don't look alike. False. Truth. We all shook our heads in disbelief. She is the contestant in this year's Rokushiki festival. Well, that would explain a lot. Anyway, Breakfast Breaker, I'm gonna end this off here. My name is Dragonite, I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.